Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 2 of 12 Social 3. In this video, we will be explaining our presentation to you about the liberal democracy period in Indonesia. Before we begin, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Rifan Indrawan. My student number is 19.
Hello everyone, my name is Givo Muskastiawan. I'm absent number 14.
Hello everyone, my name is Nurani Paramadewi, absent number 21.
Hello everyone, my name is Violina Anastasia Salona Putri, absent number 33.
The liberal democracy era was the era when President Sukarno ruled using the Provisional Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia 1950. This period lasted from 17 August 1950 to 5 July 1959. During this period, 7 cabinets were formed, led by different prime ministers. Each program implemented in the 7 cabinets addressed the same issue. The problem that has always been the program of every cabinet during the liberal era was West Irian or defending West Irian. The 7 cabinets are: Natsir Cabinet. The first cabinet of the new nation was the Natsir Cabinet. It was formed by Prime Minister Muhammad Natsir with the backing of the Masyumi and the Indonesian Socialist Party or PSI, following a failed attempt at a coalition between the Masyumi and the Indonesian National Party or PNI. During this cabinet period, there were rebellions in almost all parts of Indonesia, problems in national security such as the Darul Islam Rebellion, Makassar Uprising, Apra coup d'etat, and the Republic of South Maluku Independence Movement. Negotiations on the West Irian issue were also held during this cabinet, though this only resulted in a stalemate. On 22nd January 1951, the parliament passed a vote of no confidence, resulting in Prime Minister Nasir returning his mandate to the president on 21st March 1951.
Sukiman Cabinet. Following the resignation of the Natsir Cabinet, attempts were made by political leaders such as Satorno to form a coalition between Masyumi and the Indonesian National Party. However, this proved to be difficult as these agreements arose, including over the turnover tax, the regional councils, the West Irian issue, and seat distribution in such a cabinet. Eventually, an agreement was reached, with Sukiman Wirjo Sanjoyo serving as Prime Minister. Notably, no one from the Indonesian Socialist Party and the Natsir faction of the Masyumi was a part of the cabinet. The Sukiman Cabinet was notable for its poor relation with the army and its suppression of the Indonesian Communist Party. Following a series of militant strikes between June and August 1951. The first and only crackdown against the communists in Indonesia up until the events of the 30th September movement. The Sukiman Cabinet would eventually fall due to a foreign policy crisis, which committed Indonesia to the free world, resulting in the resignation of Foreign Minister Ahmad Subarjo and the fall of the World Cabinet in February 1952.
Wilopo Cabinet. After the fall of the Sukiman Cabinet, another Masyumi PNI cabinet followed this time. It was led by the PNI. Under Prime Minister Wilopo, during the Wilopo Cabinet, a major political relishment occurred. The PNI was growing suspicious of the Masyumi and was looking to postpone elections, fearing it might be won overwhelmingly by the Masyumi. They coincided with the PKS New National United Front strategy, which saw the party over its support to the PNI and didn't denounce the current cabinet, as it had did with the Sukiman Cabinet. Meanwhile, the Masyumi was experiencing a split as the Nahdlatul Ulama or NU formed their own party following doctrinal disputes. Under the Wilopo Cabinet, economic conditions began to worsen as the economic boom that occurred during the Korean War was over. Prices of exports began to fall, notably rubber, which fell by 71%. This led to the cabinet cutting expenditures, including the budget of the army, However, the Wilopo cabinet's proposals were unpopular with the army. The army's high command came into dispute with the parliament in what it saw its excessive civilian meddling within military affairs. After the dismissal of a pro-government officer in July 1952, the parliament began demanding a significant restructuring of armed forces leadership, and after 3 months, tensions culminated in thousands of demonstrators mobilized by the army in Jakarta. President Sukarno managed to temper the demonstrators and assured to army officers, but refused to concede to any demands. Soon after the incident, a significant proportion of the army's high command was replaced. In March of 1953, the cabinet fell after what is now called the Tanjung Merawa incident, where police killed 5 peasants near Medan while removing squatters from foreign-owned estate lands. Before a vote of no confidence could be taken Parliament, the cabinet returned in mandate to Sukarno on 16 March 1953.
The first cabinet of Ali Sastroamidjojo. After over 6 weeks of bargaining and 5 attempts at various party combinations, a new cabinet led by the PNI with support by the NU was formed, with Ali Sastroamidjojo serving as Prime Minister. This time, the Masyumi was excluded, along with the PSI. Under the Ali Sastroamidjojo's first cabinet, the bureaucracy was expanded with more PNI officials. The economy was under a period of Indonesiation, with the government encouraging indigenous businessmen to open new firms. In practice, however, many new firms were bogus fronts for arrangement between government supporters and Chinese, which became known as Alibaba firms, in which an Indonesia, Ali, was frontman for a Chinese Baba entrepreneur. In April 1955, the Bandung Conference was held, and it represented a triumph for the Ali Sastroamidjojo government. Around 29 states attended the conference. Those present included Zhou Enlai, Jawaharlal Nehru, Pham Van Dong, Muhammad Ali Bogra, and Gamal Abdel Nasser. Ali Sastroamidjojo also continued the duties and previous cabinet to carry out elections. On 31st May 1954, the Central and Regional Election Committees were formed. The plan at that time was that elections for the legislative branch would be held on September 29th, and for the Constitutional Assembly would be held on December 15th. However, as experienced by the Wilopo cabinet, the Ali Sastroamidjojo cabinet dissolved in July 1955 and was replaced by the Burhanuddin Harahap cabinet at the following month. After a deteriorating economy which resulted in the NU withdrawing and the collapse of the cabinet,
Burhanuddin Harahap Cabinet. Following the dissolution of the first Ali Sastroamidjojo cabinet, Vice President Muhammad Hatta announced the names of 3 candidates for the new cabinet formation, namely Wilopo, Sukiman, and Asad. However, these 3 candidates agreed to choose Hatta as Prime Minister and Minister of Defense. But because Hatta was still serving as Vice President, Hatta appointed Burhanuddin Harahap to form a cabinet. Burhanuddin Harahap's cabinet consisted of a coalition from 13 different parties, though in practice the cabinet was dominated by the Masyumi, with other parties only being added as complementary. The Indonesian National Party did not sit in this cabinet, but the Indonesian National Party together with the Great Indonesia Party led by Wongsonegoro, the Indonesian Communist Party led by Aidit, and other parties formed and acted as the opposition. The army was not entirely pleased with the newly formed cabinet, since it believed many of the new cabinet members to be as corrupt as their predecessors. But it was pleased with the opportunity to arrest several Indonesian National Party figures for corruption. Under the cabinet, the long-awaited 1955 Legislative and Constitutional Assembly elections took place, which rather than resolving political issues, the election merely helped to draw the battle lines more precisely. Under Burhanuddin Harahap, harmonization between the government and the army began, as well as the termination of the Netherlands and Indonesia Union. As a form of protest over the West Irian issue, the cabinet resigned in early March.
The second cabinet of Ali Sastroamidjojo. The next cabinet was again led by Ali Sastroamidjojo, who became prime minister again. Unlike the other cabinet, this cabinet is the only cabinet that governed through election during the era of liberal democracy. The cabinet was notable for the fact that 17 of the 24 new ministers were without previous cabinet experience. Under the cabinet, KMB was cancelled unilaterally. Both formally and materially, cooperation continued with Asian African countries. The decisions of the Asian African Conference in Bandung were implemented, and domestic reforms were enacted. After a year, the cabinet had to return the mandate to the president, following a split between the PNI and Masyumi parties.
Juanda Cabinet. Following the fall of the second Ali Sastroamidjojo cabinet, President Sukarno expressed his desire for a gotong royong, or mutual assistance cabinet, in which all of the four major parties, including the PKI, would work together for the national interest. However, following vociferous opposition from the other parties and the army, Sukarno was forced to back down on 15 March. He asked PNI chairman and former mayor of Jakarta, Suryo, to form a cabinet, but he failed, with the result that Sukarno himself called a meeting on 14 April of party leaders and military officers, at which they were all asked if they were prepared to join cabinet. The Masyumi, most of whose members refused to serve in the cabinet, accused Sukarno of acting illegally, but to no avail. The party later expressed its two members who joined the cabinet. Sukarno appointed cabinet veteran Juanda Kartawijaya to head a cabinet made up of qualified individuals who did not represent any parties. The cabinet was announced on 8 April and appointed by Sukarno the following day at the Merdeka Palace. Unlike other cabinets, this cabinet was the only cabinet in power through a mandate given directly by the president. This cabinet was forced to resign because of change in the political system made by President Sukarno through the Presidential Decree of July 5, 1959.